There was an old house at the end of our street. Abandoned, falling apart and wrapped in rumors. People said a family had once lived there but disappeared overnight. Plates left on the table, doors unlocked, candles burned to nothing. No one ever found out what happened to them. To us, it was just a thrill, a perfect place for dares, ghost stories, and hide and seek. We had played in the house before, but only during the day. The floors creaked like they might cave in, the wallpaper peeled like skin, and the air smelled of mildew and something faintly rotten. Creepy? Absolutely, but that just made it more exciting. Then, one evening, Jake had a stupid idea. "Let's play in the dark," he said, grinning. "No flashlights, no phones, just us and the house." I hesitated. I think we all did, but no one wanted to be the coward, so we agreed. We waited until the sun dipped below the trees, then stepped inside. The moment the door shut, something felt wrong. The air was heavy, thicker than before. The silence wasn't just silence, it felt aware. Still, I turned to the wall, closed my eyes and started counting. 1, 2, 3. I heard them scatter, footsteps on wood, doors creaking open, then silence. 50. Ready or not, here I come. I moved carefully, my hands brushing along the walls, my breath louder than I wanted it to be. The darkness was absolute. Every step made the floor groan, but I wasn't sure if I was the only one making noise. I found Jake first, crouched behind an old couch in the living room. His breath was fast, excited. He grinned as I tapped his shoulder. "That was quick," he whispered. Mia was next, hiding beneath the staircase. I reached under, my fingers brushing her arm. She let out a quiet yelp, then laughed nervously. "Two down," I murmured. The house felt different, bigger almost. Hallways stretched longer. Doors I didn't remember were slightly open. Shadows flickered in the corner of my eye, but whenever I turned, nothing was there. Then I heard it, a whisper, soft, just behind me. I spun around. Nothing. My chest tightened. A floorboard creaked upstairs. I swallowed hard. It had to be one of them. The second floor smelled worse than the first. Mildew, damp wood, something faintly metallic. The wallpaper was curling, revealing the rotting boards underneath. The hallway stretched longer than I remembered, doors lining each side like staring eyes. At the end was a closet. The door was slightly open. A whisper again. "Come find me." It wasn't a voice I recognized. My hands felt clammy, but I had to check. I reached out and slowly pulled the door open. A wave of rotting air hit me first. My stomach churned. Inside, I saw them, all of them, huddled together, wide-eyed, terrified. Mia, Jake, Caleb, and the rest, all of them. I felt cold. "But," I whispered, "I already found Jake and Mia." Jake, the one in the closet, shook his head frantically. "We never left," Mia whimpered. "We've been in here the whole time." My breath caught. My mind raced. If they had been in the closet this whole time, then who had I found downstairs? A shadow stretched across the floor. Cold breath touched the back of my neck. I turned. Two pale, hollow eyes stared back at me from the darkness. A grin stretched across its face, too wide, too wrong. I felt my body go rigid. The last thing I heard before the door slammed shut was a voice, playful and taunting. "Your turn to hide." Then darkness, and outside, the counting began again. 49, 50. Ready or not, here I come. I've known Emily Dawson since we were 10 years old. She's been my best friend for as long as I can remember. By the time we were 16, our sleepovers had changed a lot. Gone were the days of playing with dolls. Now we snuck horror movies, gossiped about boys, and dared each other to do stupid things. It was a stormy Saturday night in October 1989. Rain lashed against Emily's bedroom window, and thunder rumbled in the distance. We were supposed to be studying for an upcoming test, but boredom had taken over. That's when Emily grinned and reached under her bed, pulling out a dust-covered wooden box. "My cousin gave me this," she said, placing it between us. I squinted at the box. "What is it?" Emily opened the lid, revealing an old Ouija board inside. The letters and numbers were faded, and the wooden planchette looked worn down from use. "A real Ouija board," she said. "He told me it actually works." I hesitated. I'd heard the stories, urban legends, warnings from adults, all that stuff. But I was 16. Too old to believe in ghost stories, right? "You think it's real?" I asked. Emily shrugged. "Let's find out." We turned off the bedroom lights, leaving only 2 flickering candles on Emily's nightstand. The air felt thick, heavy. My throat tightened as we placed our fingers on the planchette. Emily cleared her throat. "Is anyone here with us?" Seconds passed. Nothing happened. I exhaled in relief. Guess it's fake. Then the planchette moved. Slowly, shakily, it slid to yes. My breath hitched. "You moved it." Emily's eyes were wide. "No, I swear I didn't." My hands felt clammy, but I didn't pull away. "Who are you?" The planchette shifted again. Michael. My stomach turned. The air grew colder. "What do you want?" Emily whispered. The planchette jerked violently across the board. "ELOOD." A loud bang echoed through the room. Emily's heart pounded. She stood up, hesitated, then opened the door. Nobody was there. A chill crawled up my spine. That night, neither of us slept. I tossed and turned in my sleeping bag while Emily kept staring at the dark corners of her room, her breathing shallow. Then I woke up. The room was pitch black. Something felt wrong. I turned my head. Emily was sitting up in bed, stiff as a corpse. Her eyes were locked onto something in the corner of the room. "Emily?" I whispered. She didn't blink. I followed her gaze and saw it. A shadow stood in the corner, tall, motionless, watching. My blood ran cold. Then, in a whisper so faint I barely heard it, the shadow spoke. "Lisa." Emily and I never talked about that night. I convinced myself it was a nightmare. Emily, however, changed. She became distant, paranoid. She stopped sleeping, stopped smiling. Then, in 1995, I got the call. "I need your help." Emily's voice was shaking. "It's him. He never left." I gripped the phone tighter. "What are you talking about?" "Michael, the Ouija board. We never said goodbye." A chill ran through my body. That night, I drove to Emily's childhood home. It was abandoned now. Her parents had moved out years ago, but Emily refused to leave. I found her in the attic. She was thin, pale, her eyes sunken and wide. In her hands was the Ouija board. "We have to finish it," she whispered. I swallowed hard. "Emily, we shouldn't." She cut me off. "He's angry. He's been here for 6 years. I hear him at night. He whispers. He watches. He doesn't want me to leave." I wanted to turn and run, but I couldn't leave Emily alone like this. So, trembling, we sat down one last time. We placed our fingers on the planchette. Emily took a deep breath. "Michael, are you still here?" The planchette shot to yes. My stomach twisted. "We're ending this. Goodbye." The planchette slammed to an O. The attic light flickered. The air turned ice cold. Then, a deep, guttural growl filled the room. Emily screamed as something yanked her across the floor. I grabbed her, pulling her back, but her eyes were wide with terror. "He's here!" she shrieked. I looked up. A figure stood in the corner, darker than the shadows, watching. Then it lunged. I grabbed the board and smashed it against the floor. The candles burst into flames. The attic door slammed open. Then silence. Emily gasped for breath. The board lay in shattered pieces. The room felt lighter. We ran outside and burned what remained of the board. I thought it was over. I was wrong. Emily never fully recovered. She refused to sleep alone. She kept every light on at night. She never spoke of what happened. Then, in 2002, I got another call. Emily was dead. They found her in her apartment. The cause? unknown. No signs of forced entry, no wounds, but there was one thing carved into the wooden floor beside her bed. Goodbye. I barely made it through the funeral. That night, I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, trying to make sense of it all. Then my bedroom light flickered, the temperature dropped, and in the silence of the dark, I heard it, a whisper right beside my ear.
Lisa.